match number 5, our final match of the evening, would see the CPW title put on the line as CPW. We'd see trainer versus student, as Alioke would challenge the champion Alf Everest, even not Elf Everest. Alf Everest. Alf Everest would come out with Mr. Kendo in hand. Anyone who's met Mr. Kendo doesn't want to meet him a second time. Let's be fair. These two would absolutely go at it from the start, just literally beating the hell out of each other, beating the snot out of each other. They'd end up rolling outside, back in. Alioke would take a firm hold of Everest's head, and we'd see some proper chain wrestling at this point. Proper chain wrestling. These two very well versed in chain wrestling. Everest, held his own. Alioke would perform some chops. Test of strength, and then another chain sequence to see Alioke roll up for a 2 count. He'd then perform the look, your boots untied, DDT. But somehow Everest would roll outside. Everest would then hit a double axe handle for a 2 count and an elbow drop for a 2 count. He'd hit an angel wing style backbreaker ×2 for another 2 count. And just start to break the rules at this point. He'd start to choke. He'd hit a superplex that was spiked. He absolutely spiked the landing on that superplex for a 2 count. It was all pretty much a brainbuster from the top. Everest was completely on top at this point, hitting another brainbuster. He hit some corner splashes, but the crowd were urging Ali on, and he'd fire up. He'd hit some vile chops again. He'd hit he'd go for a buckshot, but end up somehow hurting his ankle. But he'd still land the kick for a 2 count. He'd head up top, inadvertently lariat the ref. The poor refs tonight, absolutely getting taken out. You'd see Everest would grab Mr. Kendo at this point. He'd beat down on Ali with it. Then Everest would put on a referee's shirt. What's going on here? And he'd count the 3 for himself to retain. At this point, Waste Management would come out with Everest's refereeing credentials to prove that he could, in fact, count the pin for himself. What a shocking turn of events. I've never seen that happen before. Wow. Everest is still your champion. At this point, though, Everest did take Mr. Kendo to Waste Management to Paul and Barry, beat down on him and told him, I don't need you anymore. A heel doing heel things to other heels. Wow. I love it. Absolutely love it. Just this one, craziness. Absolute craziness. What a way to think. We'd had some crazy results so far. This was probably the craziest by far. I never thought I'd see a wrestler put on a shirt and count their own 3 count and declare themselves the winner. It's just wow. Ali put on a great showing against his student. His chops, they have to hurt. They have to hurt. He just gave it his all in this match, as you always get from Ali, and screwed out of it. Probably, at the end of the day, there's a kendo stick involved. Everest, the typical heel champion, did what he had to do to retain his title. He was quite dominant in this one at one point. Obviously he picked up loads of near falls, realised he couldn't get the job done without bending the rules, breaking the rules, and, well, it was breaking the rules. He used Mr. Kendo to his advantage. You've got to use what you've got to use. You're the champion at the end of the day. Retain the belt by any means necessary. Anyway, these two put on a vastly entertaining match. Great way to close out the evening. Great way to close out the show. Fantastic. If you get a chance to check either of these two out, I recommend that you do so for yourselves.